Chapter 106. Tournament, Finals Part 1. First match, Benimaru vs Gozerl. Last night's drinking was too extreme. Of course, not for me. No matter how much I drink, I don't get drunk. At a time like that, I think it might be best not to have poison nullification. After all, it's possible the food or drink could be poisoned. But I think everyone in there more or less had some poison resistance. Oh well. I just pretended to be drunk. After all, I just like the act of drinking itself. The ones who drank too much were the invited guests. It seems they couldn't forget the excitement of the battle they saw during the day. They all kept talking about it and drank late into the night. As a result, everyone looked exhausted heading over to the Colosseum the next morning. In the Colosseum, all of the contestants assembled, forming a line at the center. Or rather than a line, it was a linked circle. They stood in wall facing the audience. On the large monitor, the contestants were projected on the screen one by one. Their appearance came out nicely. In front of the contestants, I greeted everyone through the mic. By the way, I didn't call Veldor out since yesterday. I don't dare to call him out while he's engrossed in making the underground labyrinth dungeon. If he starts raging again, it will be troublesome, and at the same time that dangerous fellow might also come with him. If Milam comes, surely she will want to participate in the tournament. I don't think that she will be satisfied just sending in a substitute. For that reason, today's commentary will be performed by me alone. First thing first, the contestant introductions. I sent the signal and the contestants were introduced one at a time. The large screen changed for the introduction of each contestant that will be battling today. First, the people who won yesterday's battle royal, those 3 people were introduced. As the representative of Sui's subordinates, the dragon Utsuka took on the role as the announcer. She gave a brief commentary about the contestants that will participate in today's match. Well then, shall we begin? First was the Gozu. This guy. I gave him a name, Gozerl. It was because he came out victorious yesterday and as my praise for him. After he received the name, my magic power decreased, although it decreased only to the extent that he could grow a little. However, he was formerly a high rank. His race also evolves as Gyuki. The way his power now gushed from him, he felt like a completely different person than he was yesterday. He has acquired a unique skill restrainer and an extra skill self-regeneration. Although he didn't receive additional special abilities or skills, his physical power was greatly enhanced. Unique skill restrainer's ability was to create a space where he could put a restraint on what ability can be used in that space. However, if the other party didn't agree with it, the restraint in that space will be cancelled. It was ability with bad usability. Although it might be possible to force the opponent to agree with it, but I think that depends on who the opponent was. If it's an opponent of the same rank, it won't work. Perhaps, just like Holy Barrier, that space creates a rule where skills can't be used. But I speculate that physical ability will still be effective. It was an interesting idea. Since I think it could be useful, I didn't forget to absorb it with Covenant Lord Uriel. Because it was under the Space series, it was easy to add it. First, the champion of the yesterday's first match, Gozerl. By stopping the 100 years conflict, he received rights to participate in this match. His power gives rise to a new wind that can sweep over Tempest. Suka spoke the words merrily. Don't turn around. Since she's cute, the audience became excited. With the tail, the wings and the horn, there was no problem labeling her as cute. Furthermore, Gozerl is a champion from the underground labyrinth dungeon that Tempest is proud of. Pay attention to his strength. And for those who are confident that they can beat him, please head towards the labyrinth. She said it in high spirits. She even advertised the labyrinth. Because it's not open to the public yet, it can't be considered a labyrinth yet. Oh well, after seeing its power, I don't know if there will be a challenger for the labyrinth. I have no idea how the first match will turn out. Even after being advertised like this, he might be defeated quickly. However, I already thought that. If he got defeated, then his challenger will get an additional monetary reward. Well, it depends on his opponent. Everything will be decided by the lot. Next, Dagura, the eldest of Daguru's 3 sons. I received greetings from Dagura, Ryura and Bura at the same time of the report of yesterday's victory. I've been told that their father, Dagura, sent them to this country so they could learn various things. We will do anything, even the chores. Please give us your permission to stay in this country, Demon Lord Rimuru-sama. The trio bowed their head together. Because it was troublesome, I decided to place them under Shion. It was their wish after all. They even wear clothes with Shion for life written on them. I knew that the reality was cruel, and it's only a matter of time before their illusion gets broken, but that was their way of life. Their power was dreadfully high. However, the eldest was the most balanced one among the 3, so he was quite strong. Next up is the champion of the second match, Dagura. Emitting his overwhelming aura alone, all of the evil spirits from the Great Jira Forest were blown away. His figure is certainly a masterpiece. If he becomes serious, who knows what will happen? How will such power fare against the executives of Tempest? The anticipation is rising. During his introduction, Dagura waves his hand high. If compared with the quiet fighting spirit of Gozerl, I could sense a surplus of power. How high was the surplus power that he held? Just like before, I didn't speak anything to the executives. Then, the next one was the hero Masayuki. It would become clear in today's match whether this guy's abilities were the real deal or not. Although, it might be tomorrow as there are only 4 matches today, so it all depends on the lot. And now, the champion of yesterday's third match, Hero Masayuki. No one could catch a glimpse at his magnificent sword technique. Because, at the same time his sword was unsheathed, the opponent was already dead. With overwhelming power he made his name renowned, the man who introduces himself as the young hero. There is no end of people who are fascinated by his sweet mask. They say with just one look at his eyes, no woman can resist falling for him. For those who have seen his previous battle, rejoice. Was it true? Was this guy really that popular? Or was Suka just making stuff up for that publicity? If that's the case, she has an unexpected talent. Wasn't that mostly lies and backhanded compliments? What with that announcement? If anyone took her words seriously, then I think there's something wrong with their heads. If he loses in the first round after that big speech, won't he be embarrassed? Maybe that was her plan. If so, that's just harassment. If it's Suka, then without doubt it's high-class harassment. The remainders were special participants and the executives. Starting with Arno. Well then, let's continue the contestant introduction with the special participants. First introduction is for the Holy Knight Arno Baumann. The name of a man renowned as the strongest Holy Knight. After the zealous fight against our Tempest executives, a bud of friendship has bloomed. He aims for complete victory. The pride of a man doesn't allow a draw. To achieve his aims for complete victory, he will exhibit his true strength this time. Yes. An amazing ability, actually. Down the side of Arno's face, I see a sweat hanging on his forehead. What was she talking about? It was completely unnecessary to say all of that. Now the pressure was on him to win. Suka, are you really a blood-sucking demon? The way you're cornering them was not something just anyone would do. As the little sister of the naturally airheaded Gabble, I never imagined you could be so vicious. Next up, another special participant. His name is the Murata. Dispatched from a secret organization, he's a mysterious man. He aims to show off his combat prowess in this tournament. Will he be able to display his power as a mercenary? The man who catches Demon Lord Rimuru-sama interest. Keep your eyes on him, everyone. No, I don't have the slightest interest in him. Also, what's the deal with the secret organization you speak of? Saying that while looking at me with that fearless smile. I'm glad there was no problem. I'm glad that even if the name gets found out it will be fine. Well, I had been warned about this, but I will stop it if it becomes a problem. Let's continue. Another special participant. A mysterious masked man intruding the Colosseum. The unknown lion mask. Is he a champion of justice or an envoy of evil? Really? what kind of enchanting battle he will show us? By the way, there's a message from a certain anonymous person. I think you already know, but if you show an unsightly fight, prepare yourself. That's what the person said. What does this message mean? I don't know, but it sounds fun. No, his fate was already sealed. Suka already knew that, but she still took pleasure in cornering him. I had no choice other than to pray for the cornered lion mask's fortune in the match. Continuing, the final special participant. The ultimate battle machine. In front of it, both holy and evil hold no meaning. I have received a written introduction from an anonymous person. My Beretta is the strongest, that's all it says. However, isn't this its first real combat? How can it already be the strongest? I really don't understand, but anyway. This raises our anticipation even higher. I really didn't expect this, you know? She finished the forcefully overbearing introduction. Certainly, the people who know about the existence of Beretta were few, so its power was unknown. So there was nothing wrong in her words. Now then, from this point on, the truly strong ones will make their appearance. The executives of Tempest. Each one's abilities are equal that of 1,000 warriors. First up, Gobita. There are many who admire that destructive mask of his, an elite warrior. Although he wished to have fame as a genius, he is the greatest of all young warriors. What kind of enticing battle will he show us this time? Stop that. Was probably what Gobita's heart was screaming right now. His face also turned pale, you know. That was so, after all, he was in a sorry state similar to the half-killed lion mask Sano. Well, if Gobita were desperate, he might become serious. The next contestant is Gribble. Commander of the Hiryu, a warrior of the blue sky. Will his dragon's blood that flows in his body awaken an invincible warrior in him? By the way, he is my biological brother. Since father is watching, you can't show us a pathetic battle, you hear me? No mercy, even for her biological brother. Of course not, since her performance was to drive everyone into a corner. Since no one knows who's fighting who, I might actually get to see Gibble unexpectedly awaken. And since it's true that Abel was watching, I think I can look forward to it a little. That's it for the sideshow. Now we're on to the main show. Continuing the introduction, the Hierarch Gerudo. Tempest Guardian Deity. A crucial guardian with impregnable defense. Did she just say sideshow? Certainly, the people after this were really strong. She changed her tone and went into her serious introduction mode. Contestant Hakuru, Master of the Sword. Appointed as the sword art instructor, he is also the one who trained us. Next is Shion, Demon Lord Rimuru's #1 secretary. Fitting her intellectual appearance, she is a woman who can do anything. She not only protects Rimuru-sama, but also counsels him. It can be said that she has monopolized the position that is yearned by every woman. Huh? Was there some kind of secret dealing? I can't help but notice that Shion was nodding in satisfaction. Somehow or another, there was no mistake that some black dealings had been carried out here. Sui-sama. He is my superior, and a man-person of yearning. Everything he does is flawless, but there's nobody who knows his true strength. I'm sure this time too, he will surely show us a splendid and wonderful battle. Do you need to add Samato Sui? Furthermore, her tone was serious, but she was clearly blushing. Oh well, it's fine. Well then, the sole contestant in this tournament that is not a humanoid but a beast, Reinga. Reigning as Rimuru-sama's guard pet, a superior wolf that allows no one to come near. And now, the top favorite of this tournament, contestant Diablo. Needless to say, but no one has seen his true abilities in live combat. Will there be a contestant this time that can expose his secrets? Is there anyone in existence that can do it? It will be a match on whole new levels. Next contestant is the last contestant. Temple's Supreme Commander, contestant Benimaru. Among the subordinates of Demon Lord Rimuru-sama, his power is said to be the strongest, but just how strong is he? Rumor has it that he is equal in strength to Sui-sama, but is it true? It's time for the truth to be made clear in the eyes of the public. As expected, the last introduction was normal. But, who really is the strongest? I don't honestly know. Diablo, Reinga, Sui, Benimaru. In addition of the strong four, Shion and Beretta. Because they learned their techniques from Hakuru, recently they have leveled up. Also, that lion mask was the former Demon Lord Carrion-san, right? Against a former Demon Lord, how far can our executives fight? I'm really looking forward to it. As the introductions came to an end, lots were drawn and the matches were decided. Due to the number of participants, the match will be divided into 2 days. 4 matches on the first day and another 4 on the second day. Immediately after the lots were drawn, names were filled out on the tournament chart. The result. The first day. First match. Benimaru vs Gozerl. Second match. Sui vs Dagura. Third match. Gobita vs Hiro Masayuki. Fourth match. Kabul vs Reinga. The second day. Fifth match. Arno vs Beretta. Sixth match. Lion Mask vs Diablo. Seventh match. Hakuru vs the Murata. Eighth match. Gerudo vs Shion. That was the result. Because the matches were made fair and square by drawing lots, so there were no hard feelings, but Kabul looked awfully pitiful. His unique skill, Tuner, would work fine if he was matched up against an opponent he can win against, but since his opponent was Reinga, it might be impossible to win. He wore an expression of hopelessness. I hope he will still work hard and show us his utmost best. And then there was Gobita. If the hero really was the same rank as Hinata, Gobita's chance of victory was non-existent. But as far as testing the hero's ability, Gobita might be suitable for that. I also want him to work hard and perform his utmost best. After this, it will become a considerable great match that I want to see. By the way, Wisdom King Raphael had perfectly predicted the outcome of these matches. It didn't say anything, so it might be interesting. Because there was free will, there might be a case where the contestant actions could overturn even 10,000 calculations, so it can't reach any conclusion. On the contrary, if the contestants were manipulated, then it could be possible to make a 100% perfect forecast. Well then, now, I somehow expected it, how the result will be. Without delay, the first match had begun. The first match. Benimaru vs Gozerl. For some reason, they were just glaring at each other in the middle of the arena. Pikin. Neither showed any response to Suka. Fufufu, how lucky to be able to meet you in the first match. Benimaru-san, your reign as the Supreme Commander will end today. Today onwards shall be known as the era of Gozerl-sama. Gozerl was spouting remarks one after another. This was bad. After receiving a name and gains new powers, it seems he's become rather arrogant. Was this also a rebellion against me, or so I'd like to think, however? Please watch me, Rimuru-sama. I, Gozerl, will become your new right hand. And if I do, then I shall take Shion Dono as my bride. He respectfully bows towards me, while declaring such things. To his remarks. Shion-sama is our bride. The crowd booed at him. It seemed that one section of the spectators were all crazy fans of Shion. Ah well. So foolish. Nothing I can do. Let the match begin. I understand, do the match seriously. I don't need foolish words. Since I said it into the mic, it echoed throughout the Colosseum. The spectators burst out in laughter. I guess they think this was just part of the show. Since I was being serious, I'm really thankful that they misunderstood. I was quite embarrassed. Pikin. Once again, Suka declared. This time it began for real. Gozerl made the first move. And thus, a large magic formation suddenly appeared on the ground. Take this. The position of Supreme Commander will be mine. Unique skill, Restrainer, executed. Oh, he sure wasted no time using it. It was not an ability that a fool can use. The magic formation that was drawn on the ground. Was it a prevention against cancellation? I'm impressed. However, no matter how I see it, Benimaru was deliberately receiving that. Even when provoked to that extent, there was no sign of rage in him. quite different from his former self. After he was entrusted as the supreme commander of this country, Benimaru's short temper disappeared. And the now calm Benimaru was tremendously strong. If he fought against Hakuuru now, their swords would clash endlessly. It was after suppressing his physical strength to same level of Hakuuru. In other words, his sword skill was now at the same level as Hakuuru's. Without his short temper he can carefully listen to his opponent's words. Hence was his growth. Due to the restraining ability of Gozero's restrainer, skill, sorcery and magic were prohibited. Wahahaha. I hear that your specialty is inferno attack, right? How's that? How does it feel to have your special technique sealed? Just hand over the Supreme Commander position to me now, and I might make you my Vice Commander. You can become my right hand, how about that? Gozero was too elated. It seems to be a bad idea to hand out names so easily, since it seems that it could mass-produce idiots like him. Even if he's loyal to me, he didn't take into consideration the power of his senpai, whom he should respect. However, it'd be different if said senpai was making a mistake. Even Diablo was polite when he meets with opponents that were weaker than him. Well, he's really frightening when he's angered, though his attitude is that he never underestimates anyone. Well then, how will Benimaru fight back? If this was before, the opponent will be killed at this stage. Thanks goodness it was only half killing. Believing he sealed off his opponent's ability, Gozero, who became too elated, he attacked Benimaru persistently with his great axe. Since Benimaru's magic and other skills were sealed off, Gozero seemed to believe that he now had the upper hand in both power and speed. However, is that the extent of your power? Do you have anything else besides that? 30 minutes will soon pass. Until that time, I allow you to attack as you like. Give it all you've got so you don't have any regrets later. 30 minutes. That was the match time I set beforehand. One match was about 30 minutes. It was something that I had consulted with Benimaru beforehand. So that means, for the sake of punctuality, he's deliberately allowing his opponent to attack as he likes. I was nothing but astonished at the growth of Benimaru. Huh? Are you sleep-talking? You're just receiving all of my attacks, since the truth is you can't do anything against them, am I right? Don't be a sore loser. Don't get carried away, chump.
Gozero doesn't seem to realize the difference in their ability. It seems he still believes that he's attacking Benimaru one-sidedly. Gozero. Above Benimaru in power and speed? No, that was wrong. That Benimaru, without me knowing, his abilities increased drastically. His maximum amount of energy magic power had probably increased a substantial amount. It was only because he suppressed his Yuki that its increase went unnoticed. Wisdom King Raphael usually conducts measurement without failure, but I didn't hear anything even from him. And so, 30 minutes had elapsed. It's time. Benimaru mutters lazily as Gozero fell to his knees on the spot. In Benimaru's left hand was a katana with a crimson blade called Crimson Lotus Edge. Benimaru was only warding off the attacks from the Great Axe, but he counterattacked after the 30 minutes passed. His right fist catches Gozero, needed with power to penetrate, he drives his fist into Gozero's solar plexus. With a single hit, the flow of his magic power was disarranged and Gozero was unable to stand. Even if he set up barriers, everything would be pierced instantly by that hit. It was an excellent and overwhelming victory for Benimaru. To correct your character it's necessarily to beat it into you again and again. Prepare yourself. Gozero fainted after hearing those words. And the first match came to an end.